Hi, this is Rick Levine for Tarot.com, here today to talk with you about the full moon in Taurus on November 3rd, and this occurs at 10:22 p.m., and that's Pacific Daylight Time. So every full moon is a culmination of energy, and this one is no different in that respect. However, this one has a very important influence coming from the planet Neptune. We'll get there in just a minute. The moon in Taurus is a comfortable position. Taurus is about solidity. It's about sensuality, and I don't mean sexuality. I mean tasting, touching, smelling, that of the senses. Taurus says if you can sense it, it's real. Otherwise, who cares? So the moon in Taurus allows us to take the change, because the moon is our feelings, and our feelings are always changing. And the moon in Taurus says, that's fine. Feelings can change, but if your feet are on the ground, what you sense stays the same. It's a yummy position for the moon. However, it's opposite the sun in Scorpio. As Taurus is sensual and simplistic, the sun in Scorpio is complex. Scorpio is not just about what I sense, it's about what I sense and what you sense, and where the two of those merge or don't merge. So the full moon in Taurus is really a position that brings us in touch with the complexity of how we respond in a relationship. Even though we might feel very certain, very stable, very real in what we feel, that when we vocalize or act on that feeling, then things can become more complex. Now enters Neptune that I alluded to earlier. Neptune is the planet of dreams and illusions. Neptune is the haziness and the imagination of reality. Neptune is the lord of the seas, and in the oceans everything dissolves and becomes magical, and solid things lose their shape. So this full moon is sextile to Neptune, which means that the sun is trine to Neptune. Neptune is at a point where it takes the energy of the tension between the complexity and the simplicity of the Scorpio and Taurus, and through our dreams, our imagination, our spirituality, that energy is released. It's made more palatable. We can manage it. The good news is that if we make use of our imagination and our spirituality, we can do all kinds of wonderful, magical things at this full moon. The bad news is that we can also mislead ourselves or others, or have others mislead us, because Neptune kind of also creates that shield, that drape that hides us from the truth sometimes. And so I think it's really important here to stay on track. One last thought, and that was that the last new moon that we had was lined up opposite Uranus, the planet of change. Uranus right now at this full moon is lined up with opposite Venus. And so we still have Venus, the planet of love, opposite Uranus. There's still this dance with the unexpected, the uncertainty, the waking up, the shock and the overwhelm and the excitement even of what in love is unexpected. Where do we go with this full moon? Well, we go with Jupiter, which is also in the picture, lined up with the sun. We go to that sense of optimism, of growth, of how do we open up our hearts and our minds to take in that wider vision of Neptune so that it doesn't throw us off course. For Tarot.com, I'm Rick Levine.